So you're a creator, right? Always on the hunt for that next big idea. Well, what if I told you that some of the greatest stories ever told are just sitting there, totally free for you to use, to twist, to adapt, and turn into your own modern hit? Today, we're going to unlock a treasure chest of inspiration that could seriously fuel your next big project.
I mean, it sounds like the setup to a really weird joke, doesn't it? Take one of the most cherished romance novels in history, Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, and then smash it together with zombies. But this was no joke. It was a publishing phenomenon. The book, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, actually kept about 85% of Austen's original words, but then wove in these brand new, totally wild elements of ninjas and zombie horror.
And get this, it was a gigantic success. We're talking more than 750,000 copies in print. It even spawned a movie, a video game, and pretty much a whole new genre of literary mashups. It proved, without a doubt, that a 200-year-old story could feel fresh, exciting, and, yeah, incredibly profitable.
Okay, so that's the big question, right? How can you just grab someone else's book, throw your own spin on it, and then sell it? How is that not a massive copyright lawsuit waiting to happen? Well, the answer lies in one of the most powerful and, honestly, most overlooked concepts in the entire creative world. It's called the public domain. The best way to think about it is like a giant shared library of creative works, an intellectual commons, if you will, that belongs to every single one of us. So let's break down what that really means. So here's how it works. When a work's copyright expires, basically when the timer runs out, it enters the public domain. That means the original creator's exclusive rights are gone, and the work becomes raw material for a new generation of creators. And it's not just old books. We're talking music, art, films, photos, a huge wellspring of content that you can use without asking permission and without paying a dime.
And listen, this isn't some sneaky loophole. It's fundamental to how creativity even happens. New ideas, new stories, they don't just appear out of thin air, you know? We are constantly building on the ideas and stories that came before us. Without the public domain, creativity itself would just grind to a halt.
So, this is the really cool part. This is how you take something from that giant, shared wellspring of ideas and you transform it into something totally new, something you actually own. The legal key to all of this is creating what's called a derivative work.
A derivative work is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a new creation that's derived from an older one. So when you write a screenplay that's based on a public domain novel, or you create a modern musical arrangement of a classic folk song, you are creating a derivative work. You're adding your own substantial, original layer of creativity right on top of that public domain foundation.
So here's the recipe. It's honestly this simple. Step 1. Find your source material in the public domain. Step 2. Add your own original, creative contribution, and that's the key part. This could be new plot twists, new characters, new dialogue, you name it. And boom, step 3, you now own the copyright for your specific adaptation.
Now this is a super important distinction, so let's be really clear. You don't suddenly own Jane Austen's original novel. No way. Pride and Prejudice stays in the public domain for anyone to adapt. What you own is the copyright to your new stuff. The zombie fights, the ninja training scenes. Nobody can copy your version without your permission.
All right, so you're probably thinking, this sounds amazing. Where do I find all this incredible raw material? Well, good news. You don't have to go digging through dusty old archives. It's all online, just waiting for you.
Websites like these, they're not just libraries. They're digital gold mines. Seriously, we're talking about vast, searchable, and completely free collections with tens of thousands of ebooks and millions of other things, from old films to audio recordings. And just look at the caliber of stories we're talking about. This isn't just some old, forgotten stuff. These are iconic, culturally massive works. I mean, think of the possibilities. A modern retelling of Frankenstein, a sci-fi epic based on Moby Dick, a new TV series using the original Sherlock Holmes stories. These incredible characters and worlds are literally yours to play with. And remember, the public domain is so much more than just literature. It's this incredible visual and auditory feast. You could use historical photos in your documentary. You could turn classic posters into merch. You could sample public domain films in your video projects. The raw material is just unbelievably diverse.
So there you have it. The secret's out. This vast intellectual commons, it's not just some historical curiosity. It's an active, powerful resource for every writer, filmmaker, artist, and publisher out there right now.
The legal framework is there. The resources are all available. The only thing required to turn these classic works into the next big thing is your own unique creative vision.
So what's it going to be? A hard-boiled detective story set in the world of the Age of Innocence? A horror film based on the original Frankenstein? The possibilities are they're completely endless. The intellectual commons is yours for the taking. The only question left is, what story are you going to tell?